if you watched my previous video, that was a spring break self-care, because spring break for me marks the end, right after finals, the end of a quarter, because my school is in a quarter system, which means that the end of spring break is also the beginning of a new quarter. New beginnings, new mind, new start, everything new, fresh, you know. And what I usually like to do before every quarter starts is just to prep for the quarter. So today, as I'm filming, it's Friday night, and I start classes on Monday, so I only have 2 days to do the pre-class prep, which is kind of late, but also, like, I just didn't want to do anything this week, which I didn't, whatever. But anyways, better late than never, but I should definitely start right now. So step number 1 is enrollment. Like, you obviously have to make sure that you're enrolled in the proper classes, all the subdivisions of the classes, like discussion tutorials or whatever, and I'm not. I usually enroll in 4 classes a quarter because that's just kind of how my school works, and I'm currently only enrolled in 3 because something went wrong with the 4th one, and so I should probably email my school department to help me fix that, and I'm going to do that right now. Step number 2 is checking your emails, and that is totally optional depending on how good at it you are, but I'm definitely not. Like, I got over 180 emails that I haven't opened, so that needs to get done right now. And I am such a hypocrite because I know how important it is to check your emails, because you might get some extra info that you didn't know you needed and it changes the whole whatever it is. So it's important to check your emails. And I know I have to do it. I just can't be bothered. Dude, my school sends like over 50 emails every day, it feels like, so. So my prepping for this quarter is not going great because I did not get in the classes that I wanted or want. And classes already started. And I'm not in them. At least not the ones I need or want. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a list of everyone that I need to contact in the right order in order to get those damn classes. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be alright, right? But besides all that struggle or whatever, there's 2 classes out of this 4 that I know for sure that I will keep and I'm going to take. So I guess I should just focus on those first. So I'm gonna hop onto my next step, which is step 3, and it's to actually physically make a timetable. So let me do that right now. And here we have it. Yay! And so I only put the 2 colors that I know, 2 classes that I know for sure I'm going to keep in actual colors, and the ones that I'm not sure about, they're in pencil so that I can erase it if anything. And here, dark color here is the actual time the classes are in California time. So it goes from 8 to 10 p.m. And then in the light blue, I have my actual time zone time. So some of my classes are from 2 to 4 a.m. my time. Lovely. Thankfully, it's recorded, so I'm not going to be awake at 2 in the morning for a fucking class. No. And what I do with it is that I put it on my wall, or it's not technically a wall, but I put it above my desk so that I can look at it whenever I need to, and that's a reminder of when my classes are supposed to take place and what order they're taking place in, so that I don't mess up like deadlines, and that I make sure that I keep up with everything. So now, just from looking at it, I can tell that my first class today on Monday is at midnight my time. And I'm not going to be awake for that because I'm about to go to sleep now and it's like 10:30-ish. So, yeah. Woke up this morning, checked the schedule of classes, and realized a spot opened up in one of the classes that I do want this quarter. So I dropped one that I had, I enrolled in that one, and now I officially have 3 classes that I'm enrolled in that I'm 100% sure I'm keeping for the whole quarter. Yoo-hoo! So I officially have 3 classes I can actually start prepping and getting into. That's awesome. 3 out of 4, like, that's pretty dope. So, of course, my next step is going to be downloading the syllabus for each of the classes, going through them, and making sure that I don't miss any assignments that could possibly be due this week, because some professors like to have, like, beginning of class assignments to, like, kind of have an eye or have an idea on what students actually know for the class and stuff like that, so you never know. And, yeah, this is making it really real. Ooh. So it's now late afternoon Tuesday. I went out a couple hours to run some errands and I'm back. But before I left, I did manage to go through all of my classes' syllabus. And there are already like 2 lectures that have been posted that I should be watching. But I also got my period, so I feel like dying and I don't want to do anything. I love being a woman. It's awesome. It's not. I also want to mention something that I do that I think is super helpful when you're doing remote learning, especially, that I did my first quarter, that I didn't do the second quarter, which went completely wrong. So it's something that I do think is really helpful, and it's keeping tabs and keeping a list on everything that the professors post, and not like every announcement, but every like videos or like just discussions, lectures and stuff that they post, so that I can make sure that I'm actually watching all of them in the right order, that I'm not skipping anything. And it helps also when you're studying for the exam to make sure that you're going through everything that you should be going through. You know what I mean? And that's, I don't know, I think it's really helpful. This is what I mean by a list. So I have all my 4 classes and then week 1, and this is what has been posted for the week, and then I just keep going for every week. This is what it looked for last quarter. So I checked off every lecture that I watched, and as you can see, whoopsies, but I still passed the class with a B. Don't look at it. My mom got me one of my favorite ice creams today because I feel like shit because of my period. So I'm going to eat it as a motivation to go through one lecture right now. I officially watched my first lecture of the quarter, although it wasn't technically a full lecture because he cut it in half and I just watched the first half. And at first I was like super excited. I was like, oh my god, this is like a new topic I haven't studied before, and like it's this like, you know, the first lecture of the new quarter. And then I got bored. I just got bored. I was just like, bruh. And I wasn't paying attention, and then there was like this mini quiz and I was like, yeah. I just ate a bunch of chips to celebrate. Oh, I scared him. I'm celebrating because I finally got into my minor. So I'm officially enrolled in all the 4 classes that I actually need this quarter, which is awesome. I'm so excited. I'm very happy. Now I don't want to study because I want to celebrate. But I definitely have to study because I'm already behind and it's only week 1. That's awesome. So me. And now let's just go back to actually doing lectures and doing classes because it's already Wednesday today and there's lectures from Monday that I haven't watched yet. Let's get to work. So it's now Saturday night and I feel like I haven't given an update in a while, but basically I just spent all week just kind of taking it like a little bit at a time and just watching every lecture kind of as I went. So at the beginning of the week I made a list of all the lectures that were expected to come out, and I already had some quizzes and stuff, and of course, as you can see, I did them all. Hi, baby. But so yeah, so I went through all of my lectures, I did all my quizzes as planned. I also, wait here a second, I think I showed it earlier in the week, but I made like the little times table schedule of the classes I'm actually enrolled in, and then I made a version of the classes that are actually live. So like when classes are live, or the office hours, or the discussions and stuff, so if I need help for homework, I know when to log in to what class. That's super helpful. And so basically what I usually do during the first week is I just kind of get a feel for like how the classes are going to be administered. So I kind of have like this kind of list I made in my bullet journal where I was like, okay, those classes are pre-recorded so I can watch them whenever, those blah, blah, blah. And that's going to help me to build my ideal schedule. And that's what I'm going to do right now. What I mean by ideal schedule is kind of to plan out a schedule of what class I'm going to watch on what day that would work best for me. Consider my situation with like the time difference, pre-recorded or not classes and stuff, and when the quizzes are, when their homeworks are due. Because for most of my classes, it's kind of like a ritual, I guess, like every Friday the homework is going to be due. So I want to make sure that I watch the lectures before the Friday, like that makes sense and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and figure that out now. And so the way that I come up with this like ideal schedule is that I usually start with the classes that are not pre-recorded, just because the professor might give some information and he doesn't actually think about posting it. So I want to make sure that I don't get anything late, if that makes any sense. So I have 2 classes that are not pre-recorded. So of course, if they're going live on Tuesday while I'm sleeping, like Tuesday night, then I can only watch them on Wednesday. So I'm going to make sure that I watch them the next day in the morning. So I have that already settled. Then the second thing that I have to keep in mind is that I do work Wednesdays for like a good chunk of the afternoon. So I'm not gonna like expect to watch as many lectures on Wednesday as the other days. So on Wednesday, I think I'm gonna keep it to one lecture, which is already here, that it's one that's not pre-recorded, and that's one that's usually over an hour as well, so it's one of my longer lectures. So I'm gonna work around that, like not too much on Wednesday. And now I'm just gonna have to fit in my pre-recorded classes and make sure that I watch them before the quizzes and the homeworks that are due on Fridays. So I think I'm basically just done right now. And it wasn't that hard. I kind of just followed the normal schedule that I'm supposed to be in, like if it wasn't remote. And then I kind of switched it up a little bit to make it more proportional, to make sure that I'm not watching like 6 lectures one day and then just one the next day. And I also decided that this quarter I was going to give myself Mondays off because of the time difference. Basically, when professors post their content on Monday morning, it's actually Monday evening, if not Monday night for me. So the entire Monday morning / early afternoon, I usually don't have anything to even watch if I wanted to. But then on the opposite side, on Friday, I do have a class that's supposed to be live, but I'm already sleeping Friday night, so I have to watch it on Saturdays. So if I'm already have to do work on Saturdays, might as well just shift my week by a day, so that I study from Tuesday to Saturday, and then I have Sunday and Monday as my days off. And I like that, so I'm gonna do that. And so here's my ideal planning. So I have 3 lectures on Tuesday, which is my first day, but then one of the lectures might be a little bit longer, so I can watch half on Tuesday and then the other half on Wednesday, where I only have 1 lecture because I work. And then on Thursday I have 2 lectures and a quiz I have to take. And then on Friday I have 2 lectures, a quiz, and a homework that's due. And then on Saturday I have 1 lecture, and then hopefully I can start on the homework that's due the next week. So to me it seems pretty even. Now, I do want to keep in mind that the pre-record lecture that I put on Friday, like if I get bored Thursday and realize I went through the other stuff super fast, like there's no reason I wouldn't do it earlier. That's just ideally like how I would want it to be. I don't know, I feel like it's confusing, but it makes sense in my brain, but I'm not sure if I'm explaining it well enough. Basically, yeah, I wake up in the morning and I have a list of the classes, lectures I have to go through. If I can do more, bonus, and if I don't feel like doing more, at least that's the minimum I have to get done. So I'm fine with that. And now I was thinking about making it prettier and like putting it up somewhere so that I can always keep it in mind. So we'll see about that. But now that I'm done with that, my next step is going to make a quarter overview in my bullet journal. And so I can show you how it went last quarter. And I have basically the entire quarter, and I can fill in when the homeworks kind of gave up on it. It was a bad quarter, let's just say that. But this was great though, because it's an awesome overview of the entire quarter, when your assignments are due, when the midterms, the exams, everything. It was awesome. The next page, I didn't really do it very well last quarter, and it was kind of useless. But this quarter, my ideal thought was to make kind of like a small sum up of the syllabus. So to have all the professors' emails, the TA emails easily accessible in there, and kind of have any important information for the quarter in there, so I can easily find it. So I'm gonna do that right now. It looks all so pretty, and now I can just fill it in with all the assignments. And I'm gonna use the syllabus for that, because most of my professors actually did give like a list of all the homeworks in advance. It might change slightly a little bit throughout the quarter, but for the most part it's not gonna budge. So I'm just gonna go ahead. So this is gonna be fun, to have to face all of my assignments and homeworks due this entire quarter. Definitely a great way to motivate yourself. Not gonna give you an anxiety attack at all, I promise. I'm a bad liar. So I'm finally done, and I'm kind of happy with how it looks. This is it. So I have the color, each of my classes have 1 color, so I have blue, purple, green, and pink, but I don't have purple posted, so I use the orange one, whatever. And those ones are for my exams, so like my midterms and finals, so I can write the details on it, so like the day and the time, and then as the quarter goes on I can add more information, as in like which chapters and stuff like that. So I like this, and it looks cute. And yes, I have a shit ton of homeworks due every Friday. Yikes. So it's now Sunday, well, evening. It's 7:30 p.m. and last night I did manage to finish my quarter whatever setup. It looks so cute and colorful. I love it. And I also went ahead and set up for April. So yeah, pretty nice. Even did a brain dump for the first time. And now I'm gonna set up for this week. Well, I don't need to show this. It's just like the usual. Yeah, like this is pretty much it. Like the quarter already started. I've prepped everything. So now we're actually starting the quarter. It's not prepping anymore. I don't really know how to do this stuff. So like, thank you if you're watching this, I guess, whatever. Hope you had fun prepping for a new quarter. Hopefully it doesn't go as shit show as it did last quarter. I have high hopes here. Let's hope it works out. But for now, bye-bye.